That's right, it's another late night, which means it's time for another reach into the Just Giggle It grab bag, and tonight we're pulling out. Oh my god, I thought there was one sketch in there, but there's a whole bunch all bundled together. What is this madness? It's the. I'm looking at it now. Oh boy, let me just go turn around here. Ah! Just Giggle It at Home, Episode 1. Tiki, we got a new show!
Yeah, Devin, I'm not even going to beat around the bush here. This is a pretty historic moment because after all these years of us
Tiki,
talking
stop
about...
leaning. You're leaning wrong against.
Jesus Christ. Okay, wow. I'm sorry. After all these years of of talking up JGI as like the new SNL and everything, Dragon, what they've done is they've come up with basically a concept where it's like, here it is. This is the Just Giggle It show. This is Just Giggle It series, and I love it. It's so well produced. There's definitely some highlights, as there should be. There's a great musical interlude, as there should be. There's a great MC, as there should be. Dragon, just everything about this just fits together so well.
Oh, that is, it's so beautiful. We finally gotten to this point. It really is. So, for those who may not be aware, JGI basically they're showing SNL what sketch comedy at home should be like, with with the right people and a crack team such as JGI's, and it's quite remarkable, folks. We were able to bear witness to true history in the making Monday, weren't we, Tiki?
I would say so, honestly, because like I said, this is such a it's such a grassroots channel, right? It's such a grassroots channel that's kind of come up from the underground to really take on a life of its own, Dragon. And I'm so proud of this in particular, just because Dragon, of course, everyone naturally a lot of people are drawn to Just Giggle It for the Harley Quinn and the Joker of it all, and that's fine and good. It's an excellent show, obviously. We all love it. But Dragon, I've always said that the backbone of Just Giggle It is the sketches. That's really where the major percentage of the content is going to be there. It's not in the 6 episodes of Harley Quinn and the Joker. It's in the 60 something episodes of Just Giggle It. So having something that really encapsulates what the feel of the sketches is overall, the Just Giggle It spice, if you will. It's really something special, Dragon, and I really think they hit it out of the park.
What's also really good about this too is that this sort of was the ultimate JGI reunion as well, because a lot of familiar faces came back. Kind of the old familiars, and just kind of some recent familiars as well. And also, again, especially in the live component too, the premiere, everyone showed up out of the woodworks. It was quite special. It was quite nice, especially during this time. We're all so divided. We all came together for a laugh. How nice is that? Put that on a T-shirt, man. It's delightful. So basically, that's
a part of it.
Yeah. So basically, that's what's going on right now. Basically, the premise was, that right now they can't go in the full kind of sketch making kind of on location, if you will. So what they've done is, while spread around the globe, the JGI players, what they've done is they basically submitted sketches in to be edited and bundled together by Joshua Thomas as kind of like a very kind of SNL done right, kind of sort of combo. And
isn't it amazing that the quarantine of all things led to Just Giggle It SNL?
Yeah, it is crazy. And again, looking at what SNL's trying to do right now, again, JGI, they're making Lorne Michaels cry right now. That they are, oh, we were so close when they did it better.
Oh, God.
He'll be fine, though. He's cried through other things on SNL. Anyway, so of course, other thing, JGI's back to Mondays. Tiki, they've been like producing this many sketches on Monday since the start of JGI. How amazing is that?
I know. Yeah, it's great. It's great. I've been loving it.
Oh, it's so circular.
Dragon, it's great. I like to think that we played a small part in it by lighting a fire under their butts with like, oh crap, they're at the end of the grab bag.
I don't want to be self-aggrandizing, but perhaps.
Probably not the case, but I like to think we played a small part in that, like just them realizing that we've literally gone through every remaining sketch on the grab bag. I don't know.
Yeah, ordinarily I just kind of chuck it to it's just sheer coincidence. But then again, currently there is a recap show, creating comedy with Joshua Thomas that essentially is recapping all the JGI sketches, and I can't help, and as anti-self-aggrandizing as I am, I can't help but say, you know what? Seems a little oddly familiar. Might just be me. Anywho, so of course, folks, so we're going to break this down. Let's just set the ground rules right now. We got a lot of sketches to get through here, and we in the past we've taken on like 2 sketches at a time, as certain people are also doing at the moment. But in the case of this one, also going to build up kind of our library of JGI sketches, because from what I understand, this, I don't know if this is going to be weekly. This might be like a bi-weekly thing they're doing to kind of produce it of the same quality their inaugural episode is. I don't know if we're going to get one of these next Monday, but it'll probably be the Monday after that, if I understand kind of Joshua Thomas right from his kind of recent announcements about this show. Regardless, because it's such a historic, monumentous event for a JGI, again, kind of like fully kind of like going from like individual sketches to like a kind of a well-produced show. We're going to cover it in its entirety, but basically we'll dedicate a little bit more media analysis to the more meaty of the sketches and just kind of like give our thoughts on the on kind of little kind of bite-sized elements of sketch, if you will. Going forward, though, JGI is going to upload kind of the really kind of the ones you can sink your teeth into individually, and then we're just going to cover those like kind of like individually going forward, and then once we're out, we're going to combine all the bite-sized little chunks that will also be made available through other sources, not YouTube. We'll cover those as well. So that's kind of what we're doing there. Okay.
Okay, so let's get into the opening title sequence. Dragon, I'm going to make a poll here, and Joshua Thomas, my man, if you're listening, I want to know if I'm right about this. Was the ding-dong sound effect thing and everyone coming on stage, if you will, was that a Book of Mormon pool, Joshua Thomas? Was that a Book of Mormon pool, my friend? I want to know this. Dragon, because Book of Mormon's already been referenced in Harley Quinn and the Joker, of course. Book of Mormon?
True, and also there is a JGI sketch about, Ding Dong Mormon.
Right, exactly.
Speaking of which, our opening here, perhaps we should kind of set the stage for our individual sketches.
Yeah, sure. I'm just saying the way that everyone comes in is very much like the Book of Mormon, like, where everyone comes in ringing the doorbells. Go ahead, Dragon, set the stage.
Sure. So yes, of course, we start with kind of a sketch done via Zoom. And oh boy, so we're doing a sketch via Zoom here, and my God, I've seen people trying to kind of do things via Zoom with their talk shows and everything. If I'm being frank, hasn't been great. This did pretty awesomely, and I mean, Teague also wanted to play the banner. Want to get the opening on the banner.
Oh yeah. Okay, sorry.
But yeah, so the first we're gonna cover the opening Zoom sketch, which I really love the heck out of. And again, it's not technically a heightened episode because we're gonna get to that later, but this feels a little heightened-esque. I like how full circle the effect is with kind of our heightened endings. So credits on this one. This is written, directed, and edited by Joshua Thomas, and it's either the most flawless editing you've ever seen, or quite possibly just it's so well rehearsed when the automatic thing kind of switches around to whoever is talking. It's just so well rehearsed. It seems so well edited in real life. It's Joshua Thomas.
I feel like it's like minimal editing, if anything.
Sure, it's like the most naturalistic editing. It's like Joshua Thomas.
Yeah.
And he's pushed beyond the boundaries of editing to like editing so well it seems like real life. If it is.
Oh God.
Or again, rehearsal so good it is self-editing, which is quite next level when you really think about it. Okay, so I have this meta. Again, this feels so heightened-esque to me, where it's kind of this meta meeting and kind of pitch for the show in question that we're seeing before us now.
Yeah. And of course, Katie gets quote unquote accidentally muted by Josh.
Oh, one of the great runners in all of JGI.
Oh, I love that they've made this a runner, like not only through the sketches but through the live streams as well.
Yeah, but again, like I keep saying, it's like Josh and Katie Mary Garland. It's just this dynamic of like she's the normal to his Garfield. That's what the relationship is. Just like, it's like the Toby to Michael Scott, if you will. Like, doesn't mean any harm, but just is always like on the last nerve of this character.
Oh, Dragon, I'm sorry. I have to circle back around to Book of Mormon one more time really quick, tangentially, all right?
Hey?
Okay, so Hamilton was announced, Dragon. It's coming out on Disney Plus on July 3rd, right in time for the 4th of July. I don't know. Maybe it's time for you to see it.
Anyway, so...
Okay. I keep getting him. I only bring this up, folks, because apparently everyone at JGI loves Hamilton except for Dragon.
Yeah, again, not at JGI. Okay, for starters.
Well, I'm just saying, just all the people in general who work at JGI, they seem to have an appreciation.
They
for
do
it.
seem to have a great affinity for the works of Lin-Manuel Miranda, for sure.
Anyways, I'm sorry.
Okay, so let's see. Also, I like the set dressings here. Like, of course, Joshua Thomas has got the JGI product placement with the Harley Quinn Joker shirt and the Nick Cage pillow.
God, Dragon, all I want from Joshua Thomas right now, and he won't give it to me. He's seen my comments. All I want for him to do is Nicolas Cage doing Joe Exotic. That's all I want.
Well, get in line. I want him to do Nick Cage Superman. He referenced it, though, so I got close. I got close.
And they reference Carol Baskin.
They do.
But
They're dipping a toe, man. We're getting there. We're almost getting to the full stride. Just give it time. Anyway.
Carol Baskin.
So as pointless references gestate there. Meanwhile, one thing of the Nick Cage pillow, which I always love the sweet story that Piper Henson gave Joshua Thomas a Nick Cage pillow for Christmas.
God,
that's adorable. Okay, so we have let's see, we have Poncio here. He's calling out the as they're kind of talking about what they want to do here, and Piper is saying, isn't it kind of. Well, basically, Ponce's saying, yes, basically, how much are we ripping off SNL here? And Piper's getting all... I love Piper Henson as kind of the consummate professional of the JGI bunch here. Piper Henson's like defending, like, well, no, we've done a number of sketches, and we have a history of doing it online before SNL really got into that, or like kind of in the current situation they are at now. Then basically, Josh kind of cuts the brass tacks. Like, to answer your question, Alex, 60%.
60%.
I was saying those opening was hysterical to me. I really was. I was laughing so much at it. So then, of course,
Dragon for a hot second too. It almost stretched the believability of it actually could have been live. You know what I mean?
Yeah, quite possibly.
I knew it wasn't because we were watching a premiere, not a live event. You know, but still, it felt like it could have been.
Now, if JGI really wants to step it up, like, well, how can it possibly get any better? We do all the sketches and coordinate them live.
Dude, I'm telling you, I think they could pull it off, honestly.
They could. I mean, in theory, like any technical delays.
Or at the very least, Dragon, I honestly think what they could do is they could do an improv workshop.
Ah.
At the very least.
Let me put it this way. If there was like a pre-planned sketch of some kind or something, a pre-planned improv event or whatnot, if they basically took what they do now and just factored in any technical kind of like hoops to jump through, that would kind of put them at the hour mark, assumedly, which basically put them at SNL's time, which could be, it could be fun.
Anyways.
Okay, so let's see. It's a musical guest, of course. It's Piper.
Dragon, I say this with only the most glowing of comparisons, all right? The way they hype up Piper Henson as the musical guest kind of reminds me of the way they hype up Miss Piggy as the musical guest in Muppet Vision.
Oh God.
and we've got our special musical guest, Miss Piggy, with a spectacular musical number. Oh God, and oh my God, I love the bit with Piper, like, oh Piper, are you gonna be singing Danny Boy? No, Josh, I have songs other than Danny Boy.
Yeah, but I love that she's love how big Danny Boy's got. And again, it's kind of tying into it's kind of even
Danny Boy is kind of like when people think of Piper Henson singing, they do think of Danny Boy.
I mean, again, it's like we're continuing even in other sketches, we're linking Harley Quinn the Joker into things via Piper and that Danny Boy thing. Now it's just yet another link that they're always combating. Now it's just kind of funny. So basically, this whole opening feel. Tell me if you got this vibe though. The opening feels a little All That-esque. Remember, All That always opened with kind of the behind the scenes, kind of the backstage,
totally.
Kind of like the shenanigans going on before they kind of cue the opening and so on and so forth. Felt a little similar. I mean, in the best of ways, because All That is quite great.
Yeah, definitely. It definitely had that vibe. And that's something that SNL kind of lacks, honestly, is that kind of like personalized sort of touch. With SNL, it's just like, and here's a bunch of comedians being funny.
Yeah, I mean, say we will, but SNL had like bumblebees. They didn't have giant corn.
Right.
Okay. All right, let's see. So,
Dragon, really quick, you want to know one of my favorite things from the days of the All That, the All That openings?
What?
I remember one time they had to make up a song on the fly. I don't know what the context or the reason why they had to make up this song, but they had to make up a song about paper plates.
Ah.
And it was hysterical. And it was like my first taste of like improv songwriting.
All right, so then we get into the whole hilarious, Joshua Thomas, Katie Mary Garland dynamic here with the whole with the Josh. I think you muted Katie. She's been trying to say stuff. Like, oh, how did that happen? Is Josh just? Oh god, just the Josh ever so passive aggressive and this running gag is just, it's hysterical. And of course, like I love the grimace that he gives there. So the passive says, "Oh, I don't know how that happens." Like just like the frowns after he's like responding to Katie. And Katie's giving the whole like kind of the SNL kind of live, live on Saturday night, that whole thing essentially. Like stick around, you stick around. God, what was it? It was like stick around. We got more to come or something.
Something like that. I'm sorry, I don't have it word for word, but yeah.
Anyway, so point being, Katie's just kind of pitching, kind of like kind of the classic, kind of like live, variety show sort of thing. Like, hey, stick around, we got more to come. We have our musical guests and the whole shebang. And basically, what Josh is doing here, like, she gets immediately cut off by Josh. First off, and she's like, "We say live," and Josh is like completely like scowl on his face, like, "We're not live, Katie. We're not live." Of course, then leads into the explanation. Piper. Sorry, but basically, we have a little bit of the exposition here. Basically, everything that Katie's saying eventually gets worked into what they are doing here when they actually defer to the whole, like, we can't do, like, live, and it's Piper Henson, it's our musical guest, and all that sort of stuff. Or you see, Katie, no one would like that. Obviously, it's what they're doing, and it's working well so far.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's see. So after that, also, Ponce was informed that he has to do a sketch. He's like, wait, so I have to make something? And I love Piper Henson. This is kind of like the matronly kind of woman running the ship here, just saying, yes, Alex. This is, it's going to be butt. Ponce has no talent in his abilities here. Anyways, then we have like Katie going with the saxophone music, backing her up, and it's easy, Katie, 60% again. Rein in the SNL. We don't want to get sued. Rein it in. All right, so then we have this amazing intro from Joshua Thomas.
Oh my god, dude! Speaking of SNL, Jesus Christ, this is Dragon. They've come so far. That's all I can think of. It's.
This curb stomps SNL's like we've seen the city all. God knows how many times we've seen New York City in SNL. If I see it one more time, okay,
they're just like walking around, always doing the same stuff, like riding in the subway and walking down Times Square and grabbing a hot dog.
No one cares. This was good. Okay, this is
Dragon. Maybe if we're lucky, we'll get a shot at Coney Island or something.
That's what I'm saying. Look, New York's a beautifully designed city. I will never take that away from New York City. New York City, some of the best architectural feats you'll ever see. But again, come on, for a comedy show, and you're like, look at all that, like they're all walking down the thing. At least there was like something a little jazzy, and they're all like walking down the orange carpet or whatnot. Well, I guess it was like the all that carpet in there. Because the point being, at least there was something a little more connected to the players. Here, something very connected to the players, and I would argue some of Joshua Thomas's finest editing working on this promo thing. And we have we have the jazzy SNL music kind of done right here. Then we have some of their finest clips just kind of being played. Let's see. So a lot of the funny bits kind of like identifiers for him. One of the best parts of this opening too, it gets really fourth wall meta here, where we see Joshua editing the opening, pulling up the footage, like it. The fourth wall, Joshua Dobbs, like he's the ultimate editing himself. It's tremendous. So I'm in love with this opening. I love that it was used as the promo, and this is fantastic. I want to see more of this. I can look forward to this and say, like, okay, more Cityscape. I get it. All right. All right. Okay, so Dana Carvey, Josh Thomas.
Yes. So, wait, Dana Carvey, Josh Thomas?
Yeah, tell me, did you you watched the show recently? Tell me, didn't Joshua Thomas with the suit jacket and just kind of the casual, didn't he with the long hair? Didn't he look just like Dana Carvey from when he did those warm-ups to the Dana Carvey show?
I can see it.
Anyway, so basically, Josh Thomas rocking the Dana Carvey look vaguely. He's basically saying he's going to be the MC, not the host, because again, as we have this hilarious little clip of Katie, Katie doing the whole "stick around, there's more to come." That whole, we got a great show for you. Stick around. That's what it says. Great show. Stick around. That's what. Anyway. So Josh says, "Okay, no jokes. I'm just going to MC things here. It's kind of cue up the big stuff. And the only joke I'm going to tell you, Tiki, you remember what the one joke is?"
Oh, yes. Stick around. Harley Quinn and the Joker, episode 7 coming up after this.
Wouldn't it be amazing if that kept up as a runner?
If they actually did it.
Because obviously right now, certainly for anyone, because people have been asking, as you imagine, because how can they not get such an amazing series? Because people always want to know, where's episode 7? I want 7. Well, people are failing to realize right now, guys, they can't quite make 7 right.
They can't shoot it. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. They literally can't shoot it right now. It's not for a lack of trying. And I mean, Josh knows to say he doesn't want to do like a Zoom version of Harley Quinn and the Joker, which, look, I'm not saying he couldn't put it together.
No one wants that.
Let me put it this way. If he made that episode 7 instead of the idea he had for episode 7, which, believe me, folks, I don't want to tease you. Trust me, it's going to be the best one yet. It's going to be the most. It's going to blow your socks off. You love 6, you're gonna sell your children for 7. It's that good.
God.
An over sell, but seriously, it is really good. Trust me, you're gonna love it anyway.
All right. So, should we get to the first sketch?
Yes.
Okay. Quarantine Cookie. This is the Piper Henson sketch.
Yeah, all done by Piper Henson. I believe her husband doing the sound, Milos.
All right. Was that also Milos off camera?
Well, I mean, I don't think she outsourced that one. I'd like to assume that is also Milos.
Okay. Right. Good point on the outsourcing, yes.
Okay, so we have Piper. It's pretty simple. Again, these are the ones I'm talking about, folks. We're going to kind of summarize a little bit of these here. So basically, you're not seeing double, folks. We have 2 Piper Hensons actually on the screen right now.
Yeah, so this is basically, the way I read this sketch, Dragon, it's kind of like the mentality you get into during quarantine, right? Like how you're so lost in yourself and lost in your own thoughts that there almost are 2 versions of you.
Pretty much, yeah. It's basically going crazy in quarantine, and kind of directed at kind of also a little bit of the food scarcity, like ate the last cookie, and apparently it was the big moral of the sketch is you should trust yourself within the quarantine. Like don't think you're going crazy. Everyone's going crazy. It's that you trust yourself, because she only blames herself before she realizes her husband ate the cookie. Also, again, as a little side note here, again, Piper Henson, a little too talented, as I constantly say, too talented to the point where she suffered from comedy mitosis. She split herself in 2. That much talent.
Oh God.
Okay.
Also, what do you think of the red hair? We haven't addressed that yet.
Well, I was going to wait till the Daphne thing, but sure, yeah, the red hair. It's it was a shock. I knew she dyed her hair darker when we talked to her. We did her interview. She mentioned she's got dark hair now, and they're going to have to write that in the Harley Quinn the Joker when eventually they reshoot it, unless they go really, like go with the wig or something, which I don't think.
Oh man, what if just kind of like throwing out a hypothetical here, but what if Addison and Ivy become friends and Ivy persuades her to dye her hair?
That would be really. Oh my, that's a great idea. I like that idea. Just saying. Suggestion. Like, I really love your hair, Ivy. How did you do it, like, Pam?
All right. Anyways.
Okay. So let's see. It's so autumn-like, Pam. I don't know how you do it. Okay.
All right. So is that it for Quarantine Cookie?
Yeah. Thanks. Okay. That's it. Moving on to the other quarantine thing.
All right. COVID.
No, Tiki. Wrong one.
What?
Katie's quarantine. Yeah, that's sorry, Tiki. That's on me.
Okay. Yeah. You didn't list it, Dragon. You didn't list it.
My apologies. Then again, you had a lot of time to list it yourself, but you're right. We didn't go through it.
All right. What's it called? I'm sorry.
Katie's quarantine song.
Okay. 1 second. Sorry, folks.
All right, that's egg on my face, folks. I mean, he did have a list, but I should have listed it out.
All right.
Okay, so Katie's quarantine song. This is so Katie Mary Garden. Fun fact: during the quarantine, during the whole lockdown, she's been going ukulele crazy, if you can believe it, folks. She's been doing a number of these little.
Well, I mean, based on this, I can't believe it. I mean, I think she's got a real talent for the ukulele.
Yeah, I think this is probably her 3rd one. I'm pretty sure those are different songs she's done before. And I like my little headcanon. I like to think she's been rehearsing all that time with those ukulele songs for this. Could be wrong. Yeah. So yeah.
So, anyways, with this song, this song very much fits into kind of the theme of the evening, Dragon, kind of like going crazy from quarantine, and I like how it starts with it starts pretty normal, and then it ends with like a breakdown of Katie sort of like dissecting her own lyrics and like, oh God, why did I write that? Oh. And then, of course, we get a couple, more than one, Zac Efron references.
Of course, hashtag Zadie for life, kids. Hashtag Zadie for life. So, by the way, little fun fact.
Yeah, but go ahead.
I had no idea about this. I hope they keep this up. Before the sketch aired, like an hour before it aired, on the JGI community page, they have like a poll of like which sketch are you most looking forward to by which player, so to speak. They didn't give away what the sketches were, but like which player do you or is the most anticipated sketch going to be from? And Katie won the poll by like a landslide. It was amazing.
You know what's funny about that? I actually voted for. I initially voted for the some New Blood. I believe the New Blood was one of the options, which is the next sketch we're going to talk about. And then I saw that Piper didn't have any votes, and I was like, "Oh my god, I have to throw a vote Piper's way."
I voted Poncio, but
Well, Dragon, that was probably the wrong vote.
It was, but yeah, it was. I'm just saying it's been a while. I'm thinking about Ponce, like, because I remember, like, we learned that from, I believe we learned from Corey Olnick that Poncio hightailed it like right out of there once the thing hit. You see, ran back to San Antonio when the thing broke out. I believe it's where he's going to tell he's broadcasting from with this with his sketch. Anyway, so the point being, Katie's quarantine song. It's really impressive work by her. Again, I think Katie's just getting better and better with. She's just kind of like we've seen her write before. We've seen her direct. I think we've seen her direct. And I want to say potentially the first time she's edited something. At the very least, her editing is getting really good with this sketch. It's really very well put together.
Yeah, she's really cementing herself as an essential part of the crew, if she hasn't already, which she pretty much has. So
one of my favorite gags. I love. Am I an alcoholic?
God.
Also, the Parks and Rec reunion.
Yes.
Which I saw, by the way, because I've seen that show, and again, the heart was in the right place for that one, but I think they did as much as they could with the reunion, again via Zoom and calling and stuff. So okay, all right, now we're back on track. So,
okay, COVID IT.
I can't. I don't know if it's just. I assume COVID IT, but it might be like COVID it. Like we've covered it.
No, I'm pretty sure the gag Dragon is. I'm pretty sure it's supposed to be a take on like CSI or something like that.
I know that's why I want. That's the thing. That's why I keep thinking it must be IT because like the
like
tone of this
CSI and Y or something like that.
That's right, D. It's got to be like a satire of like the kind of like how we're all missing kind of the procedurals at this point. All the procedurals are going away. It's sort of like
I'm not missing the procedurals, Dragon.
I'm saying a lot of people are kind of all the shows have been preempted, and a lot of those right now are procedurals, so they've been kind of like preempted by a number of episodes. So it's
Okay, well, I'm just saying. I'm not a big fan of procedural shows in general. I'm sorry.
Well, aren't you a special little snowflake, Tiki? Aren't you?
Just saying. I like continuity in my storytelling, Dragon.
Fair enough. The point being, it's kind of like it's Doomsday Prep meets kind of a satire of a procedural of some kind. So that seems to be the point.
And Dragon, I actually just went back to work today, so that first gag really kind of hits home with me, where it's like, oh, I heard he worked today and he was really busy. Cross him off the list.
So the edits are great. The lighting and the tone, again, very much indicative of kind of what they're going for here. And this is the New Blood sketch, by the way. Now, here's I hold a little bit of, I don't know. This seems, I think we're using New Blood liberally here because Jenny Tran is in the sketch. Jenny Tran we've seen before, therefore not new.
Jenny Tran New Blood, yeah, I hear you.
That's what I mean. We haven't seen her in a long while. I don't think we've seen her since the sketch she appeared in. If I'm being frank, we haven't seen her. She played Ping in the Disney Princess sketch. Remember?
Okay, I know. I know her. Yeah. And honestly, Dragon, that's honestly maybe like a top 10 Just Giggle sketch right there, and Ping is one of the most memorable parts. So even though she's only appeared in a couple sketches, I feel like she's kind of cemented her place just with that one sketch.
Now that said, Daryl Delaney, on the other hand, he is recent blood, so I'll give him that. He is recent blood. So because we saw him in I Love Mom more, so that would be a New Blood-esque one.
Yeah.
Point being, it's good to see her regardless. It's like, hey, we haven't seen Jenny Tran in a long while, because honestly, I forgot about her until I saw the clip. Like, oh, hey, that's her. And basically, they come in. Yeah, then she appeared in the thing. I felt stupid because, hey, well, because they said New Blood. I'm thinking, hey, Jenny Tran, before I realized, oh, it's Ping, man. It's freaking Ping. I said, hey, welcome to the family at JGI. And I was making Then I felt stupid once it was pointed out to me. No, she's been around. Then I'm asking Piper, and how can she be New Blood then? She just hadn't seen her. Well, I'm not going to argue with Piper. And said, okay, fair point. I guess it's been a while though. So, I mean, who am I to argue with? The point being, familiar faces. Let's bask in it. Okay, so they're Xing out their friends who are no longer safe as they're kind of like vetting them, and Poncio does not pass the test.
Poncio is sick of playing Animal Crossing. Guess what, Dragon? I'm getting there. I'm not quite there yet. I'm still playing it every day, but only a couple hours a day. I'm building an arcade on my island, Dragon. Isn't that special?
Gonna call it Flynn's?
Yeah, maybe.
Okay.
I've got like a whole section sectioned off for foosball, and it's wonderful.
All right, so Jenny here, she sneezes.
Oh God!
And then this is hysterical. This is just very hilarious here. Where Daryl Delaney, what he does is he has this like extending pole, and basically he's like pushing his very desperate kind of other half here, just like into the claws. Like, come on.
It's the visual definition of the whole like I wouldn't touch you with a 6-foot pole.
Yeah. Great. So of course, I love like the design of this thing. I love the heads on the bulletin board. I love this extending stick gag. It's basically we're kind of mocking the paranoia we're all facing right now. So that's quite good. Okay.
All right, now it's time for a musical interlude, Dragon.
Piper Henson with her single, which I gotta tell you, I think she repurposed one of her old songs into a new song, but I could be wrong. It's called "Not Enough," and it sounds very quarantine related with the lyrics. So I would imagine it'd be a new song, at the very least, retrofitted.
Yeah, definitely. There's not a lot to say here. I mean, obviously Piper crushing it with the vocals. I will say it's one of those things where it doesn't quite keep with it keeps with the theme, Dragon. It definitely keeps with the theme of quarantine. Maybe brings the mood down a little, but maybe it's kind of like it's a more somber note. But you know what? I feel like that's maybe like what something like this needs, where this is kind of like a it is just Giggle at home, and there's a reason why we're at home. So it's appropriate that we would have one somber note in this go around, and it's appropriate that it would be a Piper song, because we don't want to, of course, pencil her in to be like, do Danny Boy or like do a comedy song, you know what I mean? So
do make them laugh.
It might not necessarily be the most ha-ha entertaining thing in the world, but it's beautiful, and it really does. The lyrics do convey, it speaks to her. It speaks to what she's going through, and I quite enjoyed that.
It's kind of charity event good, it's like when people are doing all these kind of fundraisers.
Yeah, right.
And again, I don't want to just continue to throw shade at SNL, but sometimes I'm compelled to. Again, a lot of musical talent on SNL, many a time, a little forgettable. In this case,
a lot of my favorite bands have passed through SNL, so I don't want to. Then again, honestly, Dragon, you know what show most of my favorite bands have passed through? To tell you the truth,
what?
Colbert. Colbert is the guy who gets most of my favorite bands.
There you go.
Anyways, I think that's respectable.
Sure. Also, again, Piper's showing off a little at the end with the keys a little bit. And I'm just going to point that out there again. Like, we get it. She can play. She can play really well.
All right, Piper. You're a little too talented, honey.
Yeah, rein in 60%, Piper. 60%. Not 80. Go back to 60.
Right. Okay,
so let's see. Then we have Comedy in Quarantine. This is now here's the thing. This was done by Poncio, but it was edited by Poncio and Joshua Thomas. A little editing kind of assists by the old JT man himself.
Okay, and look, I feel like this is the one where it's like, I don't know if Poncio just didn't care or what, but it's clearly like there's not as much effort put into it, but it's fun in its own way.
And it is the point, though. I mean, he called it out in the opening, so he's covered either way, so he's fine. Sure. And basically the big takeaway for me with this one, very simple, is this is just Poncio going mad in quarantine, which is
going stir crazy.
That's the thing. That's the whole point. I love like the.
I'm in my car, but I can't go anywhere.
Yeah, it's funny. I'm quirky. Just like that sort of
Oh,
stuff.
God.
Mocking. It's kind of like Ponce going. We get to see like the inner workings of Ponce's head, just kind of in a creative, like little kind of like snippet kind of editing phase here. It's like, okay, he's making fun of TikTok. He's doing the quirky comedy and the driving gag, which is really funny. And then he's going a little Carol Baskin on us.
Carol Baskin.
All right. All right. So then
Okay,
we
and now
have.
we get to oh my God, Dragon.
Oh, yeah.
This is honestly, this might have been one of the most gut busting Just Giggle at sketches I've ever seen. Honestly,
Definitely the most audience
honestly.
investing, man. This is like the funnest one to watch.
I was dying, Dragon. I was absolutely dying.
And
All
of
right,
course,
so set the
is
stage.
Gwen
Oh, sorry.
Benavides.
And I see that I misspelled it, so hold on. Set the stage while I edit that spelling really quick.
All right, so folks, we're about to talk about Gwen Benavides. This was all Joshua Thomas. Literally, it's all Joshua Thomas because we have like rare sketches with more than one person. That it's not just him playing himself. Like this, like Piper again. It's like, well, Piper already played herself again. A little too talented. Like comedy, my toast. I don't know. It defies science, but it's funny. What's Joshua Thomas going to do? Well, he's gonna act against himself twice. And he's going to torture himself because he's that committed to the craft, sir.
Oh man, Dragon, this is just a masterclass, man. It's so good.
Okay, seriously, this is definitely one of the big standouts here. So Gwen Benavides, essentially it's an interrogation sketch, and I love me a good interrogation sketching. I'll point you to the thing they did on Netflix. They did a little mini revival of Mr. Show on Netflix called With Bob and David. They have an interrogation sketch that is
yeah. I remember that one. Yeah.
Anyway, so point being, we're kind of a little. It's kind of in that vein. I do love a good comedy interrogation sketch. In this case, we have Jack, who basically is Joshua Thomas with a blue tie, who's coming to in front of a TV and two men who happen to be himself. But again, they're masked though, so it looks not really like himself. So we have a conditioner who is basically we have the guy wearing kind of a hockey mask, kind of a Casey Jones mask, and a blonde wig.
I don't wear hockey masks.
Yeah, and then we have Shampoo, who is wearing the Batman mask from Batman's SNL audition, which, given kind of the tone of this whole little shindig we're doing, is quite appropriate.
Oh my God, Dragon! The Batman wannabe is just hysterical.
And I'll say this again, just for, I really hope when we eventually do get Batman and Harley Quinn, the Joker versus the Real World again, probably at the very end, if not like a season's end, at the very end of the series. I really hope they don't use this mask. I have this mask, man. This is not my A mask. I do not like this one.
No. All right.
This is the Begins Nolan model mask, man. This is not for any. Okay, anyway, so point being. Let's see. So basically, they have one question for him. They're going to release him all nicey nice. And Tiki, what is that question?
Where is Gwen Benavides?
Is Gwen Benavides. Now, I can only assume this is like this name does exist. I can't narrow down which Gwen Benavides it is, but I imagine someone that Josh Downs might know in his life, perhaps. I don't know. It might be like him pulling a Drew Barkus name, perhaps. I don't know.
Yeah, totally.
Okay, so where is Gwen Benavides? The big kind of titular question here, and you see he's protecting Gwen. Again, kind of our noble hero here. Just either he really doesn't know, or he's just trying to be protected because he says, Gwen, she made a few mistakes.
Well, I mean, he does. Yeah, he says Gwen's made a few mistakes, so like legitimately, he knows she's in some hot water at least.
Yeah. At least that's the question. Is he fully protecting her, or is he just, at the very least he's invested, which basically means it puts our guys in a position where, even if they think he genuinely doesn't know, now they have the suspicion that he knows something about her. Therefore, we cannot let him go until we get an answer. So they slap him again off screen. Again, well editing, kind of mirroring the slap again in the editing. Quite nice. Let's see. So then he threatens him with the next step, which is then interrupted by kind of Shampoo here. Step 2.
Step 2.
The key to any bad Batman impression, any bad Batman voice impression, is that you perch the lips like Pete Holmes does. That's
Oh my God. And Dragon, that step 2 thing definitely got a rise out of the comments for sure.
God. Step 2. All right.
Step 2.
Okay, let's see. So, of course, we have this great. I love the dynamic.
I think I figured out what the I think I figured out what the tag on this thing's going to be. All right. Anyways.
All right. So, I love Conditioner's just a little more like Thank you. Just like in the sword. I just love seeing that was like act through this mask too. By the way, little hockey mask. It's funny. I don't know what it was a really good choice with that mask. Conditioner came out really good in this thing. All right, thank you. So you're gonna wish after step 2, you're gonna wish we were just hitting you in the face. So basically, no dice from Jackie boy here. Jack's not talking. So that leads to a little step to jog his memory, a little TV torture with the TV that hasn't filmed. So basically, what's so great about this whole conceit here, without saying the big thing you're itching to get to, Tiki, is that it's like the inverse of kind of what we're all doing now in the quarantine, where we're using entertainment to starve off insanity. In this case, we're
absolutely
to reduce insanity.
And Dragon, honestly, all of the stuff that they pull out would be stuff where it's like, if I was forced to watch it, man, it's like, Dragon, you know what the closest thing that I ever came to this sort of thing was?
What?
Luke Cage season 2.
Oh, come on!
Oh God, no! Oh
come
no!
on!
It's so much worse than the first season. Oh God, it's so disappointing.
Oh come on! That's just petty.
All right.
Anyway,
and I've got The Punisher season 2.
Oh, you haven't even watched it yet.
I know I haven't. For all I know, I could really like it.
Why couldn't you just throw some shade at Iron Fist? Why can't you just? I'm
halfway through Iron Fist, and I don't think it's too bad.
I mean, the first season.
All right, the first. All right, yeah, that wasn't. But you know, I enjoyed that. I enjoyed it better than Luke Cage season 2. Anyways,
okay,
Dragon.
Right,
sorry.
Right, okay, now it's back to the show they're actually watching. So they're going to show them. What are they going to show them, Tiki?
Oh, let's put on the middle seasons of The Simpsons.
Starting with season 13.
No.
At least,
oh God, at least the DVDs.
With the proper aspect ratio. So then, I love this is what cracks me. I love that. Well, the shampoo walks in.
With the actual DVDs.
I know, with the DVDs, and then of course there's kind of a reveal by the conditioner here on Disney Plus, and he just drops the DVDs. Like, no!
Shampoo just walks away like,
And then many progressively
worse hours later.
And basically it's just like shell shocked with dough, like he's Al Pacino mixed with The Simpsons, like dough. All right, so then they try asking the question again. Still no dice. And again, I love the performance. The thing about it, it's not just like the fact that he's doing it's a scene between himself and himself again. It's the fact that it's 3 different types of characters here. We have the performance of the victim, the henchman, and the sadist interrogators. So this is 3 really fun performances. Okay. So let's and again I love how we're milking just the stakes out of the mundanity here. That's what I love most about it. It's the stakes out of the sheer mundanity. It's like Geneva convention type stuff, but really we're making him watch TV. It's like we're waterboarding him though. Okay, let's see. So then now this one was the first like oh no moment before there's a bigger one that follows. He says NBC's heroes post the Writers Guild strike. No, starting with season 3. Like, oh God, you're monster!
No!
Oh God! So then, 2 disappointing seasons later, the torture continues and it worsens, basically. So then, what do we have after that?
Oh God, shoot,
70 show.
Oh yeah, 70 show. Yeah, and I love how they extend this out, Dragon. They extend it out with it's like when Topher Grace leaves. Oh God!
And then he's replaced
by Fire's brother. No, season 8. Oh God! Skip all the Ashton Kutcher episodes. No.
And then this next one hurts, man, because I've seen about this one. The Office season 9. Then apparently the Game of Thrones finale, which again you and I kind of fall into that land, assumedly not good.
All I know about the Game of Thrones finale is that whoever becomes king at the end is like really, really underwhelming. That's all I know about.
That's pretty much that and some water bottles. That's pretty much all I know about the Game of Thrones finale. That and a lot of creepy incest. So a little bit of
actually the kid that they flash on the screen is the kid who becomes king at the end.
It's like Bran or something. I don't know, like the
Bran. Yeah, the kid who was in a wheelchair the whole time.
Right. Okay, so let's see. And of course, then we're slowing. Like, basically, we're imposing images on the screen here and slowing down the horror that Jack is going through here. And then we have this. Oh god, this one was inhuman.
Absolutely, Dragon. This was the mic drop. This was the mic drop right here. The mic drop of funny. The amazingly excitable Spider-Man.
I was like, Geneva Convention. What are you doing? No. You're a
Dragon,
monster.
I always say that one of my cheap go-tos for comedy that always gets a laugh out of me is slow-mo. And Joshua Thomas strapped to the chair, just slow-mo, just like no.
Oh,
the latest seasons of Dexter.
Yeah, basically probably season 5 onward would be my guess. Let's see. So then this is just every failed sitcom a Seinfeld actor did after they spun off. So we have
the Michael Richards show, watching Ellie,
and Bob Patterson. I didn't even know if Jason Alexander got that Bob Patterson show. I had no idea what it is. Right, let's see.
Monsters!
All right, so what's the last? Then he teases. Well, now we're moving on to the next phase.
Movie sequels.
No. And we don't see what happens to him.
What would be some terrible movie sequels, Dragon?
Son of the Mask.
I knew you were going to say that one. I knew you were going to say that one. I
speak from experience. Son of the Mask, probably Batman, Robin. They're the worst ones, I'm sure, but I'm just like trying to list that off the top of my head. Well, I guess technically, Wolverine Origins might count in there as well, but I'm trying to get off the superhero stuff. Anyway. Are there any you want to throw in there? Or we're just going to move on to the next episode. All right. Well, I guess Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 3 from what I hear, but no, just throwing one of those out there. Okay. All right. So we are moving on to the grand finale, the sketch that potentially beats all the other sketches, something quite good. The only thing that could possibly follow.
Dragon, I'm sorry, I accidentally muted my mic. I don't know how that happened.
Yeah, that's the thing. I was just. Did you have any other?
Yeah, I know.
I throw in there.
I was throwing out like Zoolander 2. Let's see, Anchorman 2. I heard that one was really disappointing.
Yeah, it's not that bad though. I mean, that's not torture bad.
It's not like torture bad. The thing with me, Dragon, is like I'm a connoisseur of so bad it's good movies. So you said Ninja Turtles 3, and I'm like, eh. Oh, but what about like throw on Transformers?
Oh god,
the ones after Shia LaBeouf.
Oh god.
All right, there we go. That's a good one. That's a good place to end this bit.
All right.
All right, so Heightened.
Yes, Heightened. The Scoob table read. This is written, directed, and edited by, you guessed it, Joshua Thomas.
No.
Get out.
All right, and I love how full circle this all comes, Dragon.
Oh yeah, and again, very much kind of like we're getting the gang back together, kind of like riffing a little bit, like the opening seems kind of like a little live impromptu sort of thing. Again, very Heightened-esque, and of course, in this case, we are literally in Heightened. You can get like Piper Hinson, Josh Nice little creator credit on Heightened, which is always kind of nice.
Yeah. And just to clarify, Joshua Thomas clarified this in the comments last night. This is not the Heightened that they've been working on.
I know, yeah. That's why I highlighted. So Josh Thomas did this one. We know Katie Mary Garland is not a Heightened sketch.
Yeah,
this is not that.
Yeah. So I'm very excited that the Katie Murray Garland one is still in the still baking in the oven.
Good old KMG.
KMG. It's like NBC.
Well, that's kind of the point. But yeah, it's building a brand. Okay. Right. The point being, all the gang here, kind of essentially playing parodies of themselves. They are all gathered around for a Scoob parody sketch table read, presumably. In this case, a sequel to Scoob, which is basically just coming out. We continue to have that KMG Joshua Thomas Gold with the dynamic here. We're like, wait, what are we doing? Scoob. It's the Scooby-Doo movie, Katie. Oh!
Oh, God.
And we have, of course, the parody is called Scoob 2 Electric Scoobaloo.
Oh.
This is hilarious. All right, let's see. So Piper Henson, she approves. She very much approves of this sketch, this whole idea here, and of course, she even says she dyed her hair red for the role of Daphne.
All right. So of course, Katie Mary Garland is going to be play Velma Dragon.
Yes, playing Velma. Crikey!
No, Katie. It's Jinkies.
I laughed so
You're not
hard.
Crocodile Dundee.
I laughed so hard at that crikey gag because the Katie Mary Garland's delivery, especially in these heightened sketches. Again, you go like, I like Back to the Future from Heightened Episode 2. It's just that's where that moment is born. It's just perfect.
And then before we get to that, though, I'm sorry, I kind of skipped over this. We get Sipka back on the show. Always nice to see Sipka.
Sipka returns.
Dragon, the more and more I see of Sipka with the long hair, the more confident I am of our biopic cast team.
Oh, most assuredly. Also, again, Sipka wearing that red shirt he wore in that in the last episode of Creating Comedy. Presumably, if I'm a betting man, I'm going to say they finished shooting this, and then after that, they did Creating Comedy on Friday. Be my guess.
Potentially.
But Mark Sipka's sporting that Weird Al look, which is kind of fun.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm glad Sipka's saying I'm glad I can move some stuff around for you guys and make this happen.
Yeah, because Sipka's been a busy boy after all. I love how chill Poncio is. Poncio's kind of sitting back in the Fred attire, saying, welcome back. Yeah. It's been a while. He's not really giving like the enthusiastic, hey, Mark, good to see you. He's like, hey, welcome back. So let's see. Oh,
Mark's asking about the roles.
Rest they're assigning roles again. Katie is Velma, the whole crikey gag, which is priceless. Get your glasses on. It's just a table read. I mean, no one's really gonna. Well, something tells me you're not gonna be a very good Velma, so you should at least look like Velma. So go look for him.
Oh, I'm looking for my glasses, like Velma.
Oh, but that's what I'm saying. She's so darn precocious that Katie Mary Garland, she has bits like this. I love heightened Katie Mary Garland so much. Heightened Katie is the bee's knees, man. She's wonderful. Okay. So let's see. Then Poncio is Fred with an ascot. And if you look, he's sporting the ascot.
Hey, gang.
All right, then Mark keeps interrupting here. He keeps interrupting, asking who he's going to be, and of course we reveal that it's going to be Scoob.
He's going to be the Star Dragon.
Yep.
Star, baby!
Oh, God. Of course, he doesn't have much dialogue. Of course he does. Ruby Roo, Rut-Row, Roinks, and then the laugh. I mean, Josh, there's basically... laugh. Oh, God. This Jasper that's just trying I want to get Mark in on this, but you know what? I can't.
You got a lot to play with, buddy.
Yeah. And of course, I love Mark Sipka. This is when I hit me on the rewatch. Is Mark Sipka saying, I had stuff to do, man. I had other stuff.
That did hit me on the rewatch. Yeah.
There's then we have again this whole Garfield Nermal dynamic yet again, where Katie's going says, how do I look? When she has the glasses on and everything. He says, sure.
Sure. Why not?
All right. Of course, Piper's always on heightened Josh's good side. Piper's atta girl. She's down for him. Daphne remembers atta girl. He's all prideful of Piper Henson.
And then, Dragon, we get the closest thing that we've ever seen to Joshua Thomas smoking on air, which is that was thrilling to me to see.
Well, technically we've seen him do it before, way back during the If Buying an Orange, buying a car, remember?
Oh, yeah, you're right. He was smoking in that sketch.
I mean, it might have been manufactured. We know he was dosed up during that, but we don't know if he was doing it on screen or not. Point being.
All right.
Anyway, so he is playing Shaggy, and I love how you shout out Casey Kasem, man. A little Kasem love. Never hurts. Love a little Kasem love. All right, then he's going for stuff. Piper calls him out. Then we begin things. Okay.
Yes.
So the table read starts. Mark Sipka, he has the first line. He's just does not want to do it, but he goes for it. And I got to tell you, heightened Joshua Thomas, has impeccable taste because Mark Sipka is a perfect Scooby-Doo in this, didn't you?
Oh my God, yeah, Sipka does a perfect Scooby-Doo, man. It's
what I'm
just
saying.
added to Sipka's repertoire of
and he's
impressions.
it sounds like a famous talking dog. What can't Mark Sipka do? That's my question. Just being flawless and
But I think that's the gag, Dragon, is it's essentially like, all this buildup of like, oh, Mark's here just to basically like waste his time doing the one line, and then everyone's just waiting around anticipation, like, everyone's like, hey, that's your line, Mark, come on, Mark. And then all this build up, and then he just kills it, Dragon. It's like Barry delivering the one line at the end of season 1.
Mm-hmm. Let's see. So then we have a big reveal here. So you think, okay, well, we can end on that note, but then it gets even better. So then we reveal Austin Boyce, behind Mark Sipka, with a wig and glasses and a lot of pep, like, Jinkies, hey Josh.
Oh, God.
Which we don't even see Katie, and we just hear Josh saying, "Katie, you're not playing Velma," and just as Katie off screen just says, "Yeah, I figured." Just like it's the defeated normalist thing. So yeah, this image here, okay, a little mini story time here, folks. Mini story time. So
story time.
Okay, so this is crazy, and I've told Joshua Thomas this as well. So basically, when the live show was going on, Austin Boyce popped up as one of the JGI alumni. I recognized Austin Boyce's name, but I didn't recognize what until after the show.
Oh, no.
So I recognized the name Austin Boyce. Like, that is so fucking familiar, and I can't place her in a JGI sketch. And honestly, I don't think. If she's been in a JGI sketch, it was really under the radar. I still don't think she was in a JGI sketch, but she was in something connected to the JGI and something else, as you can probably guess. So when Tiki and I were doing Better Call Saul, season 5, doing research. Yeah. I was doing some research, and I came across the name Austin Boyce, who played, as you can see in this image here, played Kim Wexler's assistant, played Kim Wexler's personal assistant, secretary, the one on the left. And Viola on the right there, who was fantastic in Prodigal Son. Just want to shout that out. Love her too. She's great. Anyway, Team Wexler here. Love them. Point being, Austin Boyce. So again, we're doing that. I recognize that name from Better Call Saul, but I didn't realize it. And I guess maybe subconsciously I recognized Austin Boyce from Better Call Saul from something else. I knew that name was familiar. What do I know Austin Boyce from? I couldn't place
kind
it.
Of like, I know you study it's a Better Call Saul, Dragon, so it probably just got lodged in your mind somewhere.
But here's the trippy thing, okay? So Better Call Saul, I've seen Austin Boyce before. When Austin Boyce actually shows up in the comments on the premiere, I'm thinking, okay, I've seen this, and by the end of it, I'm clicking, oh wait a minute, I've seen Austin Boyce in Better Call Saul, I think. So I double checked. Yeah, oh my God, Austin Boyce, Better Call Saul. And then I'm thinking, okay, it might just be a sheer coincidence because I can't find any JGI sketches on the actor's page when I was looking at it. I was like, okay, that's impossible. Okay, maybe it's just a coincidence. So I pose it to Joshua Thomas, and he basically reminds me of what I know Austin Boyce from in the first place, which is the Ear Time podcast, Joshua Thomas's podcast from way back when.
Oh, yeah.
That he did
Ear
Time with Josh and Austin. Of course, I'm not connecting the boy stats there with the Josh and Austin, and also he hasn't done it since 2018, so it's been a while. So it's such a small world. So point being, Tiki, as Joshua Thomas has framed it, it's like a 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon. In this case, a 1 degree from Breaking Bad, or in our case, the Albuquerque verse.
Right.
How amazing is that?
You know some guys.
We very vaguely know some guys from probably our favorite show ever, with Better Call Saul. It's amazing. And again, also just to shout her out there. So again, Austin Boyce, in case she's watching, man, you at least want to say the role that you had in Better Call Saul is really cool too, because you had that really important scene with Kim Wexler, and she kind of makes the big kind of destiny choice. And Marcia is there and just kind of responding to her. She's indelibly kind of put in that big moment for Kim Wexler. So, yeah, and of course, I'm always for Team Wexler and all the fun people that Kim Wexler's come into contact with, everything. So, Austin Boyce, folks, check out the Ear Time podcast if you haven't. It's a little out of date, mind you, but check it out. Watch it. Get to know this person a little bit more. Hopefully, she'll show up in some more sketches down the line. She had a lot of pep in her step here. A lot of fun. So, a little shout out to Austin Boyce. A lot of love there for Better Call Saul. And her affiliation with JGI, and hopefully a continuing affiliation. We'll be able to not forget her name ever again. Hopefully, fingers crossed. Let's get back to the main image and close this puppy out.
Okay. All right. Okay. So where do we go from here, Dragon?
Well, that's all. That's the end of the sketch. So, final thoughts.
Final thoughts. Well, guys, I just want to tell you, it's just fantastic. I mean, it's crazy to think that the quarantine of all things got Just Giggle It closer to SNL than it's ever been before. It's wild. But really, with this between, and I feel like even though Poncio's sketch is, not quite as heavy hitting as some of the others, I feel like it's appropriate because, with SNL, you got the heavy hitter sketches, you got the lighter sketches. I feel like Poncio's sketch is almost kind of like a commercial sketch on SNL. You know what I mean? So all the sketches really work in tandem with each other really well. They all kind of like have that vague quarantine theme to them, and just the production, the editing. Dragon, I forgot to mention this off the top, but I'll bring it up now. This was like the Beatles' White Album of Just Giggle It. And the reason I say that, Dragon, is the Beatles' White Album. Basically, every song on that album was produced by a single Beatles. So you've got songs that were written just by Paul McCartney, songs that were written just by John Lennon, just by George Harrison. They wrote, produced, played all the instruments on those songs separately, and then came together with the White Album. So I'm sorry to get into a little bit of like boomer music nerdum there, but I really do think that this is similar in concept to the White Album, with like having the star players of Just Giggle It all giving us their respective little flavors of comedy, if you will. So I couldn't be happier with it, Dragon. I couldn't be happier with it. I'm thrilled, over the moon.
All right, final thoughts from me. This is a huge step for JGI. Again, like the Young Buck sketch comedy group, really showing SNL how it's done. They're taking they're taking just this. They're taking this fantastic content to the next level. They're taking just kind of like their niche into the next level, becoming kind of like the brand of JGI. We're taking this. Basically, we're taking quarantine content as a whole to the next level more accurately here. Because I've seen Parks and Rec, they took a stab at it. And again, they had the heart there, but it wasn't quite spectacular. Then I saw All Rise. Now, All Rise, a show which, by the way, to make it relevant, Joshua Thomas has appeared on All Rise. A little fun fact. And All Rise, because again, the whole preempting of everything, and because All Rise, it's kind of a courtroom procedure with some fun infused in it. My point is, All Rise, what they did is they broached into the whole in real life now they're kind of flirting with the idea of doing trials online, kind of doing it via Zoom, and that's kind of what that whole episode was about. And again, it was probably the most well produced like a Zoom thing could look, quite possibly. And again, this even blows that out of the water. Where again, it's like I'm just beyond impressed with this. I was expecting this to be good, and again, per JGI's caliber, again, I was looking at it through that little kind of prism of like it can only be this good. It can only be like we can only get to the All Rise level if we're lucky. But this absolutely makes the most of the limitations and exceeds expectation wonderfully so. JGI, this is JGI in overdrive, back on Mondays. It's all going full circle in all full circle in the times of crisis. Am I right? That's kind of what we're doing right now, and I feel so darn prideful that the little sketch comedy group they've come so far. We've talked about them. We've gone through their whole archive, and we're still going through their whole archive now because they got some new stuff coming through. It's just they made it into the big leagues, Tiki. I feel so proud. I'm like I'm waving a little flag at them as they're going off, man. Like, oh, look at them go! I'm so proud.
Dragon, at this rate, we're never going to get to the Doug versus Hey Arnold rap battle.
That's what I'm saying. We have it now. That's kind of our when in doubt sketch now.
That's going to be the new the break glass option.
Yep. All right, and again, lastly, before we get out of here, I'm just going to remind folks again going forward, we're not going to do another one like this because we covered the whole gambit here because it's such a momentous occasion. Going forward, we're going to cover the ones that they put out once they kind of slice it up after the initial airing. So we'll be there with you live probably. And then then when they put out the sketches individually, we'll cover them like so, kind of compile a bunch of them, and then basically once we get through the ones they put out, we'll compile a bunch of the little ones you saw during the main live show. So that's how we're going to do it going forward. It's not like another huge like cover them all in one go like that. We got to build up a little. We got to fill up the grab bag, folks. Don't sue us. Okay,
Exactly.
so that does it for now. Until the next exciting reach into the Just Giggle grab bag.
Step 2.